Welcome back. Um, been about a week, nothing crazy, but we're back. We're back on some Battlefront. I'm just talking, shooting the shit. It's actually pretty late for me. I skipped the gym. I haven't been to the gym in, like, fuck, I don't even know how long. Like, probably. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. And I hate having to rely on motivation. I hate when people think that's all you can rely on. Because the only thing you can rely on, in the end, is yourself, is that determination you have, And it's kind of weird sometimes because I tended to lie a lot about my about what I felt and what I thought of. If I didn't want to come off as super weird or like a weirdo to people, but the truth is ever since I was really little, I always had these violent thoughts in my head, and I don't want people to look at me like I'm some type of threat because of it. And it was weird because it's one of those things where you don't really think much of it. When you're little, you think it's normal, and you think it's just something that, like, hey, like, it happens to everybody. And it took me a little bit to realize, well, no, like, that doesn't happen to everybody. That's something that needs to be checked out. And as I got older, I realized, like, hey, I shouldn't be thinking like that. I should be I should be normal. I shouldn't fantasize about violence. I shouldn't fantasize about wanting to hurt people. And I think that's why I always hated the saying when people are like, oh, you should just be the bigger person. I don't want to be the bigger person. I think being the bigger person is how you get disrespected. And am I saying that you should be like me and fantasize about violence all the time? No, but like, but I think that's the way I cope about everything. I think that's how I cope with being me. And while I hid it a lot from people, and I don't want people to think I'm crazy or to think I'm like some horrible person. I also don't want people to think that I don't know, man. I don't want people to think that I'm someone that needs to be locked up for my whole life. But I also don't. I know that I'm not normal, I know that me being me, I'm not okay as a person, and I'm aware of that, and I get that, but I don't want to be seen as like someone that's so different that I can't do the things I need to do. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I don't feel like I don't feel like I should. I don't feel like I should have to hide who I am, but I do feel like I need to, I feel like if I don't hide who I am, I'm gonna be locked up. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be just a nobody. I'm gonna be locked in some fucking cell, like some padded room for the rest of my life, you know? And the more I'm like that, the more I think about that, the more I realize I can't do that anymore. I need to be different. I need to be better. And it's a very awkward conversation that nobody wants to talk about, is those violent ideations. And I do have a lot of violent tendencies. I have a lot of, you know, people have seen it since I was little. I remember I was little and I was, I'd do things. I'd purposely piss somebody off just so I could have a reason to hurt them or do something bad to them. I spent most of my life, lying to people and saying, "Oh, he did this or that." My entire life too. I don't, and I'd hurt people ever since kindergarten, man. I remember I would take soap. If you don't know the giant things of soapy water for bubbles, and I poured it in some kid's eyes just because there was no inherent reason for it. I made my own reason in my head that it was fine, and that wasn't because I needed a reason. It was more because I needed an excuse once I got talked to about it, If I didn't need an excuse, I wouldn't care to deal with one. And that's the earliest memory of it, is I would just be a horrible person. I would always hurt people. I would always, even if it was physically or mentally, I wanted to do more physically. And granted, I did. I hurt a lot of people. I've stabbed people. I've burned people. Like I said, like that. I threatened people so many times, and I've had these ideations. Like my old bullies, I would have these vivid imaginations of torturing them just to feel better, and it would make me feel better. But I wouldn't get enough satisfaction from just thinking about it. I wanted to hurt them. It would be satisfying to me. It's like I fantasized about it, because you took my life away. You took my innocence away, my childhood away. Why do I have to be good to you now? You don't deserve to go through nothing. You deserve to go through what I went through now. And it's like I feel like pleasure from it, I feel like some form of satisfaction from it, and I can't not do it. I want to do it. I can't tell myself I don't do it. I can't tell myself, oh, it just comes and goes. It doesn't come and go. I do it all the time. I love doing it. I love being violent. I love having these thoughts. And I wish I could act on more of them, but I know that I can't face the consequences. Truthfully, I couldn't face the consequences of my own actions. I know there's consequences, but I would never want to face them. That would ruin me. It would ruin my image. If I could get away with it, scot-free, or be like, oh, well, he has a decent reason, then yeah, of course, like that's what I'll do. But if I know that'll ruin my image in the end, I won't, because I know it's not worth it to me. I don't want to deal with the consequences of that, but I want to hurt people, but I know I can't.